Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you for giving us your valuable time to take part in this 50th month actually. So this is the 50th month that we are doing the Srimad Bhagavatam Katha. So 50 months, 12 months make a year. So many years we've been doing this. Actually we started 10 years ago and you'll see that. But we're doing it once every 2 months and we're trying to accelerate it and also have more frequency, once a month if it's possible. So we'll hopefully get to that stage. So we'll go through some preliminary slides that we'll always go through with some variations every time. So this is an immersive study of a pastime or a story from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's all voluntary, it's free. So thank you for again giving us your valuable time. We have purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, but also we have insights from other ISKCON, not only ISKCON gurus, but also from our Brahma Madhva, from our system as well, from our Parampara. A lot of acharyas are there, Brahma Madhva, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is one of our great acharyas. We have Jiva Goswami, Sridhar Swami, etc. So all their purports are distilled into the pastime that we are going to read today. So it's well-rounded exploration of the entire pastime. So we kindly ask you to just give your kind attention and also participate as we read through some of these verses during this session today. And also it's a collaborative learning experience. So it's a learning experience, but collaborative means we want to learn from you as well. So we want your insights as you go through this pastime as well. This is for our personal spiritual growth. So we have a lot of contents in each slide. For those of you who've been coming to these sessions 15 months, we have a lot of information. So if you're a fast reader, please go ahead and read it, but you don't need to read everything. We'll go through it, summarize each slide as well. We'll also cross-reference similar incidents from scriptures to broaden our understanding, and also we'll do a recap, which is a nice, concise, recap of the pastime in chronological order. So we'll register everything that we learned today, and it's a mile deep one, right? So we'll say it's inch wide and mile deep. So the pastime could be inch wide, but it's mile deep because we'll go deep inside each one of those pastimes. So it takes about 80 to 100 hours for us to put this presentation together. So it's for our benefit that we tap into this and then understand it, internalize it for our own personal spiritual enrichment. So if you have a book in front of you, so please feel free to take notes as we start the session. And also we will have real world spiritual lessons. We'll discuss, and we'll also have a quiz in the end. So as we usually do, you also get a hard copy. Thank you, Prabhu, for printing this. So it's a quintessence of the summary, and again, not just it's a direct copy and paste from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's not that. You'll really benefit from the contents of this. So when you go home, you can read it. You don't need it now, but towards the end of today's session, we'll have a quiz and we'll go through that collectively. So that will ensure we are retaining what we learned, and also there is spiritual understanding of the pastime. So the gems and the jewels from the pastime have been mined, so we will understand and internalize the pastime together. Okay? So attention. So all of us were asked when we were in school time to pay attention, right? So it's good for us to get back even as we get older. All of you are young, but it's good for us to have that attention span, increasing, because we just spoke a few minutes ago as well. So our attention span is getting shorter and shorter in this day and age where everything is shorter, right? We get some TikTok videos, everything is much shorter. So we have to stretch it so that our attention span increases for our own benefit, right? And attention builds relationships. So if I'm talking to you, for example, if you're working in a company and your manager is talking to you, and he's talking to you, you're answering him, and as you're answering him, if you look at the watch, yeah, tomorrow I can come, yeah, that project, sure. If you look at the watch, is he going to be happy? you're not paying attention to what he's saying, right? So attention actually builds relationship, right? With eye contact and not looking at the watch, etc. Right? Even when there is a prize distribution of, let's say a cricket World Cup prize distribution. So when the cup is giving at that time, before you get the cup, you look at the watch and you wave to somebody later. It doesn't augur well, right? So attention to things, whatever we do, is for our benefit. So attention is the foundation of learning, right? So as we were learning to play an instrument or singing songs, it was all because of attention that we were having at that time. And also it enhances our memory, and it determines our skills, right? So somebody is a wonderful archer or a shooter, it's all because of the attention that they paid in learning that and focusing on that for them to be an expert in that. And it's a universal principle, right? So the root cause of success in anything is attention. So for those of you who've been with us during this journey, we started in 2015, so 10 years ago. But today is the 50th month, so we are doing it almost once every 2 months. So congratulations to those of you who've been through most of these sessions from 2015. So that's why I've highlighted it there. We started it off with King Yayati, and we were going month after month after month. As you can see, we covered so many wonderful topics from Srimad Bhagavatam, all deep dive sessions, multimedia sessions. And here we are, 50th month, the killing of Dhenuka, the ass demon, from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 15th chapter, the total of 52 verses in that. We'll nicely summarize that for our deep understanding. So for those of you who are into actual percentages and numbers, you can see here, we have covered over 73% of Srimad Bhagavatam pastimes, right? So there are multiple verses, there are thousands and thousands of slokas and verses, but as far as pastimes are concerned, or stories are concerned, we have covered over 73%. So still ways to go, but we've been through this journey together. So for those of you who were here in the last few months, anybody remembers Ajamil pastime, Saubari Muni pastime, right? But the main thing is you get all these hard copies because it takes a lot of time to put together and then print that together. So please, after you get this, maybe after a month or so, try to just go through it. That's all you need. If you go through it, you will get a deeper understanding of the pastime from Srimad Bhagavatam, and the question and answers will help you go deeper into it so that you will remember it for a long, long time, right? So that's why we give you the hard copy. So, as we usually do, we will always start by chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 3 times. And for the benefit of everybody, what is this mantra? This is the first sloka in Srimad Bhagavatam. So many of you would have bought the Srimad Bhagavatam book list, 12 cantos. It starts off, 18,000 slokas starts off with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That's the starting. So it's such an important verse, and it's also called as Dwadashakshara mantra. That means 12 syllable mantra. How do we know it's 12 syllable? You've heard of 10 syllable, 12 syllable, etc. 18 syllable. Om Namo Narayanaya. That is 8 syllable mantra. 8 syllable. Om Namo Narayanaya. That is 8 syllable mantra. And this is the 12 syllable mantra. That is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That's how you get the syllable. That's how you break down the syllable. So this is the 12 syllable Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya mantra. And this is the invocation mantra in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam as well. And for those of you who may have heard of Shaligram Shila, you may worship Shaligram Shila at home. This is the most important mantra that you chant to the Shaligram Shila. So Shaligram Shila, devotees wear, I also have a Shaligram Shila here, so devotees maybe have it in their ring, have it in their houses to worship, etc. So this is one of the important mantras, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And this is the mantra that was given by Narada Muni to Dhruva Maharaj almost 2 billion years ago. And that's the mantra that he chanted, and eventually he saw Lord Vishnu face to face in Vrindavan. So this is the mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I've just brought in all the references to Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya here, so that every Sunday when you're here, the speaker will start the class with, let's chant with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So all this will come into your mind to know the potency of that mantra, right? And also, Lord, Dhruva Maharaj saw face to face, and Srila Prabhupada confirms that we can go to Vishnu Loka by chanting this mantra. So we have many routes, like you can go to, let's say, Mississauga, you can take 401 West, you can take 407, many routes are there. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a mantra that is given to us by combined incarnation of Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani. But here, Srila Prabhupada also confirms we can go to Vishnu Loka just by chanting this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And this mantra is also part of Narayana Kavacha, which was given by Vishwaroop to the Devatas 120,400,000 years ago. So for those of you who have Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Wherever you would like to come. So the potency of this mantra will be known once we know the references to this Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya that is scattered throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. So starting of Srimad Bhagavatam, first verse is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Second canto, also the invocation verse is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Then you also worship Shaligram Shila with this Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This was a mantra that was given by Narada Muni to Dhruva Maharaj, and Prabhupada confirms that we can go to Vishnu Loka by chanting this mantra. This is also part of Narayana Kavacha. Anybody remembers where is this Narayana Kavacha? 6th canto. And Vishwaroop is the three-headed son of Tvashta who was giving this Narayana Kavacha. And in between, if you remember, he was chanting some of the demon's name, and then his head got cut off by Indra, and then because the mantra is so powerful, he became 3 different birds. It's all in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. But again, this mantra is part of Narayana Kavacha as well. So we'll chant this Narayana Kavacha. We can chant Narayana Kavacha. It's a 23-verse mantra, but we will chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 3 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we will chant the mantras that we usually chant before any Srimad Bhagavatam classes, and especially today we are going to review one of the wonderful pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we will chant the verse that is always chanted before Srimad Bhagavatam class. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.4. Anybody would like to read this? Maybe I'll get started, and then we want others to participate in that. Is that okay? No worries about mistakes in pronunciation, etc. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Would somebody be kind enough to read the English translation? Yes, Prabhu.
Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author, and to Srila Prabhupada, the translator, commentator, and our spiritual master. Explanation of request: Srila Prabhupada is the Shiksha Guru for all instructing spiritual master.
Nashtaprayesva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Anybody? English translation? Yes.
By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact.
Wonderful, thank you. So this is one of those fascinating verses right in the beginning. It's the 3rd verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigamakalpa taror kalitappalam sugamuga amrita drava samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam murau rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. This again is a very fascinating verse. Anybody, Prabhu? Will you be able to read this?
O expert and thoughtful man, relish Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literature. It emanated from the lips of Sri Shukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful. Although it is nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls.
So it's not just for anybody, but even liberated souls relish Srimad Bhagavatam. So importance of hearing, because we are spending 2 hours per month on the Srimad Bhagavatam here collectively. So what are some of the verses that glorify hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam? So anybody would like to read this, either Sanskrit? Okay, maybe I'll read this. Okay, go ahead.
I'll read the Sanskrit.
Yeah, please.
संसार सिंधुम अति दुष्टरम उतितिर्षो नान्य परप्लवो भगवतः पुरुषोत्तमस्य लीला कथा रस निषेवनाम अंतरेण पुंसो भवेद विविध दुःख दवार्दितस्य.
Wonderful. So here, samsara sindhu mati dushtaram uttitishor nanya plavo bhagavata purushotamasya leela katha rasa niveshanam antarena pumso bhaved vivida dukkadavatitasya. Translation.
For a person who is suffering in the fire of countless miseries and who desires to cross the insurmountable ocean of material existence, there is no suitable boat except that of cultivating devotion to the transcendental taste for the narrations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's pastimes.
Yeah, so this is for all of us who may have countless miseries. So here I just put a title: Years on, miseries gone. Right? So we just hear more about the Lord, then our miseries are gone. That's the sum and substance of this wonderful verse from the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Anyone else would like to read the transliteration?
In the association of few devotee discussion of the pastime and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the earth.
Heart.
By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually become advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction become fixed. The real devotion and devotional service will.
Yeah, in the association of devotees as we are, discussion of the pastimes which we are going to do. So then that is the gateway to liberation. Prabhu, would you be able to read this? So I put this Sanskrit for you. Thank you. So again, here the gateway to liberation is getting together in the association of devotees and hearing the pastimes as we have been doing, and this is the 50th month that we are doing. So almost 5 years. One more. Anyone else? Prabhu? In English is good enough.
O descendant of King Bharat, one who desired to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller and the saver for all misery.
Thank you. So again, every time, if you remember, we are taking different verses from Srimad Bhagavatam that glorifies the aspect of hearing about the pastimes of the Lord and what do we get? What's in it for me? WIIFM, we have 98.1, 97.3 like that, WII. What's in it for me, right? So we always want to do, okay, the manager wants us to do something, okay, do I get a promotion, right? So materially speaking, that's not what we are looking here. So whatever we are, the scripture state, if we hear, then it's for our own benefit. So we're pulling in various verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. So the flow of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna to Lord Brahma, so we know these are the 4 famous verses from 2nd canto 2:9, 33 to 36. It's all started off from there, 4 verses. And then Lord Brahma to his son Narada Muni, and then Narada Muni to his disciple Vyasadeva, and Vyasadeva to his son Sukdev Goswami. There are more plays within Srimad Bhagavatam, Maitreya Muni, all the other conversations are also there. But this is the top-down, flow of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Sukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit, and then Sutta Goswami to other sages who are present there. Sutta Goswami to other sages in the Naimisharanya forest, headed by Shaunaka Rishi. But if Srila Prabhupada was not there, we will not know anything about Srimad Bhagavatam. It would have just resided in some ashrams within in India. But because of his divine grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, we get to know the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam and about Lord Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
So, are we ready to spend 2 hours? So it'll go very fast again with your help, with your participation. We want to learn from you. So this is an interactive session. We want to learn from each other. So Prachetas worshiped the Lord by chanting the Rudra Gita for 10,000 years. And where was that? Was it on land, if you remember? So underneath the sea. Those were the capabilities they had. But it was for 10,000 years, the Rudra Gita. So Rudra Gita is not a glorification of Lord Rudra, but it's the glorification of Lord Krishna by Lord Shiva, and that is called as Rudra. That is the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the Rudra Gita. So 6th canto also, it talks more about Prachetas, but this is a fascinating set of verses. We have done Yagya with the Rudra Gita here as well. And Dhruva Maharaj practiced extreme austerities for 6 months to please the Lord. So those are all extreme. So we're talking about just a couple of hours every 2 months, right? I know all of you are spending time on other spiritual activities on a daily basis, on a weekly basis as well. But when we know these are, the bar that we need to aim for, not a very low bar, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard Srimad Bhagavatam every day actually for 3 hours from Gadadhar Pandit in Jagannath Puri, and Haridas Thakur spent almost 22 hours a day to please the Lord by chanting. So we'll spend a couple of hours. Again, we need your attention and your participation. So the legend in this presentation, black text, as much as I can, I've kept this. It's the actual translation from Srimad Bhagavatam. Purple text are verses from the same pastimes or other scriptures, and red text is commentary by our acharyas and other scriptures as well. The nomenclature SB is Srimad Bhagavatam. 1.1.1 means Canto 1, Chapter 1, Verse 1. And VCT and the short forms are Vishna Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, etc. So I'll walk you through that as we get to it. This is a very nice slide I put together. You may have seen it last time. If you feel that this will help you, you can take a picture as we go through any slide that you want. These are all summary of all the pastimes that are there, or the descriptions, key descriptions that are there in each one of the cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. All of you would have read Srimad Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses, but this is a nice little summary I put. For example, if you look at Canto 4, it covers about 10% of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are 14,449 verses. Daksha and Lord Shiva's pastime is here. Dhruva Maharaj's pastime, King Anga, King Vena, Prithu Maharaj's pastime, Prachetas we just discussed, Puranjana pastimes, all in Canto 4. So this is a summary of each one of those cantos. 7, most of us know it's mainly Lord Narasimhadev's pastime. 8 is churning of the ocean of milk is there. So 9, the 10th chapter is what we are discussing. Canto 10 is what we are discussing today. And that contains 28% of whole of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the biggest canto in the whole of Srimad Bhagavatam out of 12 cantos. 28% is Canto 10. Lord Krishna's pastimes are there, the time that he spent in Mathura and Gokul, the pastimes that he enacted there. So he was there for 3 years and 4 months in Gokul and Mathura. In Vrindavan, from almost 3 years and 4 months to until he was 11 years old. Mathura 11 years to 29 years, 18 years he spent here, and the last 96 years in Dwaraka when he was 29 years old to 125 years old. Okay? So the Vrindavan pastime I've highlighted here because today the pastime that we are going to cover is from the time that Lord Krishna spent in Vrindavan and the pastimes that he had in Vrindavan. So again, 28% of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, this 10th canto contains all the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So again, I've summarized the key pastimes, or actually all the pastimes that Lord Krishna enacted in Gokul, in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, the 11th pastime is this Dhenuka Sura pastime, the ass demon that we will cover today. Okay? So there are 40 chapters in this 10th canto, which covers Lord Krishna's actual appearance in Mathura, and then pastimes in Gokul, in Vrindavan. And then, I have one more slide for Mathura and then Dwarka as well. So we'll cover that in the next few classes. So this is the killing of Dhenukasura, the ass demon, and the title is The Deliverance in the Palm Grove. Okay, so there are only 52 verses, but we're not going to go verse by verse, but we'll summarize it in a way that we can all collectively understand this together. So part one, I've again segregated them into various parts. So this is Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram, and the cowherd boys enter the Vrindavan forest. So it's not yet the pastime with Dhenukasura, because the first part of this pastime is how they are entering. So here it's beautifully explained that Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram got promoted to take care of the cows. They were taking care of the calves until that point of their life. So they were taking care of the calves, but they got promoted to take care of full-grown cows and bulls and oxen. And that is the day it is called as Gopashtami. So if you remember, during the month of Kartik, we celebrate Gopashtami. So that is the day that Lord Krishna got promoted to taking care of cows. Before that, they were taking care, Krishna and Balaram were taking care of the calves. So now they're taking care of cows, bulls, and oxen as well. Okay? And the Lord wore no shoes or other footgear, but walked barefoot in the forest, giving great anxiety to all the residents of Vrindavan, who feared that his soft lotus feet will be injured. So he's walking with his bare foot there. So engaging thus in the company of the friends, the two boys rendered the land of Vrindavan most auspicious by imprinting upon it the marks of their lotus feet. So there they are going to take care of the cows, bulls, and oxen as well. So they are entering here. So here you can see here they're sounding their foot. So maybe we'll get somebody to read that so that we can also be entering into the pastime. So maybe would you be able to read that?
Lord Madhav enters the Vrindavan with Lord Baladeva, the cowherd boys and the cows. Thus desiring to enjoy pastimes, Lord Madhav, sounding his flute, surrounded by cowherd boys who were chanting his glories and accompanied by Lord Baladeva, kept the cows before him and entered the Vrindavan forest, which was full of flowers and rich with nourishment for the animals.
Thank you. So with the cows in front of them, they were entering the Vrindavan forest. So here, this is wonderfully explained, how the forest gave pleasures to all the five senses. So here, we also have that, right? So we can go for, there are many parks here. It is still Krishna's, beauty, right? So it's all Krishna. So we go there, we can soak in the nature's melody when we go to a lake or beach or park, because most of us do chant. But the beauty of those places as well, right? So let's pay attention to the messages, sights, and sounds as described in Srimad Bhagavatam. So how was the forest and things in the forest giving pleasure to the five senses? So maybe Prabhu, would you be kind enough to read this?
Sure. For years, the bees, birds, and animals made charming sounds that brought sweet pleasure to the ears. Touch. The wind was faithfully rendering service to the Lord by blowing throughout the forest, carrying the cool moisture of a transparent lake and thus giving pleasure to the sense of touch. Tongue. By the sweetness of the wind, even the sense of taste was being stimulated. Nose. The fragrance of lotus flowers was giving pleasure to the nostrils. Eyes. And the entire forest was endowed with heavenly beauty, which was giving spiritual bliss to the eyes.
Yeah, so most of you go for japa walks or go for walk, right? So now you can also indulge in this beauty of the nature, not to miss what you have in front of you, right? It will give pleasure to the ears, touch spiritually, right? So when we know this, because this is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. So when the birds are, chirping away, so let's not think it's a hindrance. It's a beautiful thing, right? So, and you'll see that, Krishna is explaining that they're the sages, the birds, when they sing, they're singing the verses of Vedas, it says, right? So, we can stay in touch, it can add pleasure to our senses as well when we hear these birds chirping, and then the wind, the wind blowing throughout wherever we are, near Lake Ontario maybe, and the cool moisture of the transparent lake. So that's very inspiring. When you're chanting as well, that enhances the whole atmosphere of that, right? So this is how the Vrindavan was giving pleasure to all the five senses here. So that's the first part about how the atmosphere was. But now here, Lord Krishna is glorifying Lord Balaram, and also there is explanation of the divine activities within the forest. Again, this is just before the actual pastime. So here, the branches of the tree, you'll see that in Canada also, right? So some of these branches come so low, we may not be able to see the heavy fruits that are there, that are pulling the weight of these branches, even without the heavy fruits, you can see some of these branches, coming so low. So here, this is the best picture that I can take. This is not from Vrindavan, but just to get an idea that the branches come so low. So here Krishna is saying, the primeval Lord saw that the stately trees with their beautiful reddish buds and their heavy burden of fruits and flowers were bending down to touch his feet with the tips of their branches. So it's actually bending down to touch the tips, with the tips of the branches to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. But Lord Krishna is saying, this is for you, Balaram, they're bending down for you. So here, worship of the Lord by silent saints, right? So Lord Krishna said the trees were going down to Lord Balaram's lotus feet, so which are worshipable by even the immortal devatas, right? So being immovable, the trees could not accompany Lord Krishna in his wanderings throughout the Vrindavan area, right? Because they don't have legs, they're stationary, but then they're bending down to offer their obeisances to the Lordship here. So Srila Prabhupada says, in fact, all the creatures of Vrindavan, animals, birds, trees, etc., including trees and cows, were great souls who could personally associate with the Lord. Personally associate means they are actually there physically seeing all these activities, right? So beautifully explained how the trees are bending down to offer their obeisances to the Lord here. So another picture, where it's bending down. And here, sages in wings, the bees who sing to the Supreme. So bees recognize the disguised Lord by following his path. So I just put it here. Sages disguised as bees worship the God disguised as human. Because Krishna is like a human being enacting his pastime. So these sages have also disguised themselves as bees. And Krishna is saying these bees are great sages because they are following Lord Balaram along his path and chanting his glory, which are themselves a holy place for the entire world. So even following the path of Lord Balaram is very, very spiritual, and that's how devotees take, to follow the path of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well. So we covered that here. The path taken by the Lord is considered a holy place, not just the temple and holy dham, as the land has been sanctified by his footsteps. So when he went all the way, he came to South India for 2 years when he spent. So devotees actually follow the same path even now. On a yearly basis, they go for this Padayatra. So here, the bees are, sages who have, disguised themselves as bees. So where he walks, holiness follows. So here, the beautiful footprints of Lord Krishna. Krishna was not this young. He was much more older in the sense between 5 years and 10 years when he was there at this time enacting his pastime. But the beautiful, footprints that are there of Lord Krishna. So maybe we'll get one more devotee to read this. We have some devotees in the back there. Welcome. Would you be kind enough to read the...
Yeah, sure. Not see properly.
Hare Krishna.
Dancing peacocks, singing cuckoos, blazing deer, all in devotion towards Lord Balaram or worshipable one. These peacocks are dancing before you out of choice. These doe are pleasing you with affectionate glances, just as the gopis do. And these cuckoos are honoring you with
Vedic prayers. Yeah.
All these residents of the forest are most fortunate, and their behavior towards you certainly benefit great souls receiving another great soul.
Yeah, wonderful. So when we go outside, when we are hearing these birds chirping, you can see Krishna is considering that, as prayers by these great personalities. So they're chanting Vedic verses. So when the birds are singing, next time let's try to remember what Krishna thought about the birds singing. The birds are chanting the Vedic verses. Who is singing? So birds are chanting the Vedic verses. So then we'll not, if you're on a phone and these birds are chirping near you, you'll not think, oh my God, the birds are shouting. You think that the birds are actually chanting the Vedic verses. We'll get one more devotee to read this. Anybody? The English. Anyone else? Yes.
Touch, glance, and embrace the earth's divine crown. This earth has now become most fortunate because you have touched her grass and bushes with your feet and her trees and creatures with your fingernails. And because you have graced her rivers, mountains, birds, and animals with your merciful glances. But But above all, you have embraced the young cowherd women between your two arms, a favor hankered after by the goddess of fortune.
Thank you. So the earth has now become most fortunate because Lord Balaram, according to Krishna, he's actually touched the earth with his lotus feet, and also with his merciful glances. He's looking everywhere, so they are fortunate because of his merciful glances. So this is a nice set of verses. If you'd like to take some pictures, this would be great here, because Krishna is saying the earth has now become most fortunate because Balaram has touched her grass and bushes with his feet, and the trees also. He's touched the trees and the creepers with the fingernails, and you have grazed the rivers, right? So, and the mountains and animals, but just by looking at them, right, with his merciful glances. So here I took 3 other verses from different parts of Srimad Bhagavatam that actually explains the same, similar, you can say, explanation as what Krishna is explaining here. So maybe we'll get someone else to read this.
Gauranga denied that they are glorified in sacred rivers, or that the demigods appear in native form, made of earth and stone. But these purified soul only after a long time. Whereas saintly persons purified by being.
So one of the advantages, so it clearly says Lord Krishna himself is explaining to Shrutadeva in 10.8652, where he's saying one can gradually become purified by seeing, touching, worshipping the temple deities, going to places of pilgrimage and holy rivers, but one can attain the same results. What is this word? Immediately, simply by receiving the glance of exalted sages. So when you go and meet different saints and sages, just by them looking at, of course, you looking at them and getting their mercy, but if they look at you according to this particular verse by Lord Krishna, it accelerates, our purification. So we can get purified. We absolutely will get purified by seeing the deity, touching the deity, worshipping the deity, going to places of pilgrimage, Tirupati, Vrindavan, Mathura, wherever we are going, places of pilgrimage, and going to holy rivers. You can go to Gangotri, Yamunotri, wherever you are able to go to. It will purify us. But the same result immediately, simply can be received by the glance of exalted sages. Okay? So maybe we'll get one more devotee to read this. This is again by Lord Krishna to similar to this. Anyone?
No one can deny that there are holy places with sacred rivers, or that the demigods appear in deity forms made of earth and stone. But these purify the soul only after a long time, whereas saintly persons purify just by being seen.
Yeah, I always like to get similar verses from various parts of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is from 48th chapter, from the 10th canto. This is from 86, but you see the similarity, right? So just by getting the glance of these great sages. Maybe we get one more devotee to read this. Ganapati Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please come.
Thank you. O King, a saintly person is just like water because he is free from all contamination, gentle by nature, and by speaking creates a beautiful vibration like that of flowing water. Just by seeing, touching, and hearing such a saintly person, living entity is purified, just as one is cleaned by the contact of with pure water. Thus a saintly person, just like a holy place, purifies all those who contact him because he always chants the glories of the Lord.
Yeah. So again, these 3 verses actually are an extension, you can say, or similar to the verse that we are seeing here, where Krishna is saying how just by Lord Balaram's glance, all these mountains and birds and animals and rivers are very, very fortunate. So the divine play of Vrindavan, where Krishna's voice charms the forest and delights all beings. So maybe we'll get one of you to read this again. And others can just meditate, right? We can just visualize this as well.
Sometimes the honeybees in Vrindavan became so mad with ecstasy that they closed their eyes and began to sing. Lord Krishna, moving along the forest path with his cowherd boyfriends and Baladev, would then respond to the bees by imitating their singing while his friends sang about his pastimes. Sometimes Lord Krishna would imitate the chattering of a parrot, sometimes with a sweet voice, the call of a cuckoo, and sometimes the cries of the swans. Sometimes he vigorously imitated the dancing of a peacock, making his cowherd boyfriends laugh. Sometimes, with a voice as deep as the rumbling of clouds, he would call out with great affection the names of the animals who had wandered far from the herd, thus enchanting the cows and the cowherd boys.
Wonderful. So Lord Krishna is God for all humans, animals, insects, etc. So he knows the language of all living entities, including bees, and he's dancing like peacocks, etc. So beautiful, beautiful verse. We can meditate on this verse. The divine mimic of the wild. So sometimes he would cry out in imitation of birds such as the chakoras, crown chars, chakravas. We don't even know what these birds are. Bharadwajas and peacocks. And sometimes he would run away with the smaller animals in mock fear of lions and tigers. So Lord Krishna massages Lord Balaram's feet. So, and by the way, for those of you who have joined us for the first time, we have a quiz in the end. But not to worry, so we'll all do that together, and you'll all take this copy with you, which will have the actual quiz, and you'll mark the right answer. So not to embarrass anybody, we'll all do this together, and this will be one of your questions. Usually I have a bell, I'll ring the bell to remind you that this will be a quiz question in the end, but because we are going to do it together, we should not worry about it. So Lord Krishna massages Lord Balaram's lotus feet. Who's the elder brother? Balaram. So, but Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but you can, Krishna does massage. So you can see here. So this is the actual picture here. So this is Lord Krishna. You can see bluish form. He's massaging Lord Balaram's lotus feet here. So when his elder brother, fatigued from playing, would lie down with his head upon the lap of a cowherd boy, Lord Krishna would help him relax by personally massaging his feet and offering other services. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, our Acharya, explains other services means he fans him, brings him river water to drink, etc. So Krishna and Balaram glorify their friends' activity. So maybe we'll get one more. Prabhu, we can read the whole page.
Sometimes as the cowherd boys danced, sang, moved about, and playfully fought with each other, Krishna and Balarama, standing nearby, hand in hand, would glorify their friends' activity and laugh. Lord Krishna rested upon the bed made of soft twigs and used cowherd boys' lap as his pillow and was fanned and massaged by them. Sometimes Lord Krishna grew tired from fighting and lay down at the base of a tree, resting upon a bed made of soft twigs and buds and using the lap of cowherd friends as his pillows. Some of the cowherd boys, who were all great souls, would then massage his lotus feet, and others, qualified by being free of all sins, would expertly fan the Supreme Lord. Other boys would sing enchanting songs appropriate to this occasion, and their hearts would melt out of love for the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhu. So again, we try to bring in some pictures related to the verse so we can also meditate. So it's not like easily available, so when somebody is reading, others can actually look at the picture and we'll be able to look at a live telecast what happened 5,000 years ago, as much as we can. So hidden divinity and visible joy. So in this way, Supreme Lord, whose soft lotus feet are personally attended by Goddess of Fortune, concealed his transcendental opulences by his internal potency and acted like a son of a cowherd. Yet, even while enjoying like a village boy in the company of other village residents, he often exhibited feats only God could perform. So that is the second part. So the first part is as they were entering into Vrindavan, and second part was how Lord Krishna is glorifying Lord Balaram and how the trees are all bending down and how these birds are singing, actually not just singing, but they are reciting Vedic verses, and the trees are all great sages. So Krishna is glorifying the entire Vrindavan, not just Lord Balaram, but also the trees and the birds and the animals, and every activity of these animals and the birds are all spiritual activities according to Lord Krishna. So this is the actual pastime, the Dhenuka Sura pastime. It's not a very big pastime, so we've covered all the 19 verses, so it's only from a few other verses, but there are a lot of lessons to be learned from this pastime as well. So here, once some of the cowherd boys, Sridham as well, Lord Balaram, Lord Krishna, along with every other cowherd boys, they spoke. Actually, the cowherd boys spoke to Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, saying, "O Rama, Rama, mighty armed one, O Krishna, destroyer of miscreants." So, and they're saying, not far from here, there is a forest called Thalavan forest, and there it is being guarded by a demon called as Dhenuka, and there are these beautiful fruits that are there, tala fruits that are there. So the cowherd boys are saying we want to eat those fruits. It's very fragrant, very sweet. We want to eat those fruits. And they're saying this is the most powerful demon, and he's assumed the form of an ass, and he's surrounded by many of his friends as well, and they live there, and they prevent anyone else from taking that particular fruit, and they eat men alive, and animals are also terrified to go there because they'll get killed. So birds are also afraid to fly, but these fruits are so good, so tasty, so fragrant. So here there are sweet smelling fruits. No one has ever tasted, but it's so good. So even now, so far away, they can smell the fragrance of it. So they want these fruits. So our minds are so attracted by its aroma. Dear Balaram, our desire to have those fruits is very great. If you think it's a good idea, let's go to the Tala form. So again, if you think we want that, but again, if you say no, we're not going to go. So this is a beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. So spiritually elevated persons do not lament or desire. So, I have a beautiful car, if there is a scratch, oh my God, I got a scratch. Oh, I don't have the car, I want the car. So that is this lamenting and desiring. So desiring is, I don't have something and I want. And lamenting is, I had what I want, but there is a problem with that, or I don't have what I want. Either one of them can be lamentation, right? So Lord Krishna wants to get rid of the demons, hence made the cowherd boys ask for the fruits so that the demon can be killed. Not that these cowherd boys were hankering for this tala fruit, right? So Krishna instigated them to ask this, favor in that sense. Yeah, we want to eat the fruits, but actually it's not for the cowherd boys, because Krishna wants to get rid of this demon who's creating problem for devotees. So there's a beautiful verse 18.54. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. Spiritually elevated persons do not lament lost what they lost. They're not going to cry for what they lost or what they don't have, and they don't desire for something that they don't have, for material satisfaction. So here the cowherd boys request the Lordship to kill Dhenukasura in this Talavan forest. Okay, so Lord Krishna's cowherd boys are exalted, self-realized souls who would not ordinarily become greedy for sweet, even though they're small boys, right? So even if they want those fruits, it's okay. But here our Acharya has explained, it's not that they are ordinary boys who want these sweet fruits, but they're simply joking with the Lord and enthusing his pastime, urging him to perform unprecedented heroic feats in the Tala forest. So wanted Krishna and Balaram to kill the demons so that the pious inhabitants of Vrindavan can enjoy the fruits of this Tala fruit. So they requested this special favor that the ass demon be killed. So up until this pastime, Lord Krishna has already killed six most powerful demons, even though he was less than 5 years actually. Right? So what are the demons that he had already killed? So Lord Balaram has not killed any of the demons yet until this pastime. So our Acharya has explained, so Lord Krishna wanted Balaram also, okay, you also start doing what you're supposed to do, right? So this is the first, that's why he sort of, he was the back burner in this pastime. So Lord Balaram started shaking the trees, as you will see. So Lord Balaram is the one who killed Dhenukasura, but then his friends, the friends of Dhenukasura came to attack Lord Krishna, even though he didn't do anything. And then he killed them as well, right? So up until this time, Krishna has killed Putana, the demoness. Watch out for the sweet deceit. What looks nurturing can hide poison. I just put some words there. Shakatasura is the cart demon. Don't let life's burdens crush you. Inner strength can overturn any trap. Trinavarta, the whirlwind demon. When chaos swirls around you, remain calm. Steadiness conquers the storm. Vatsasura is the calf demon. Even innocent looking danger merits vigilance. Never underestimate a foe. Bakasura is the stork demon, the bird demon. False pretenses fall away under the truth's beak. Pretenders cannot withstand purity. Right? So it's a nice condensed quintessence of this pastime, the lessons to be learned from each one of those pastimes as well. So Agasura is the snake demon. Pride coils tightly, but humility and courage break every snare. So he had already killed 6 of these demons, and the good thing is, you saw the list of demons that Lord Krishna killed in Gokul, Vrindavan. he never used any of the weapons. If you remember the pastimes, only in Dwaraka he uses the chakra and gada and other weapons. But in Gokul, Vrindavan, etc. So how did he kill Putana? Sucking her life air out. How did he kill Shankaraksura? Gently with the feet he touched the god demon. Trinavarta, he just tightened his grip around the neck of this demon when he was so far high. And then Vatsasura is a calf demon, gently he killed. Pakasura opened the mouth a little bit more. Agasura, snake demon as well, he went inside the mouth and then the burning sensation inside the snake's mouth as well. So no weapons were used by Lord Krishna in Gokul, Vrindavan, etc. Now there are 12 different palm trees, right? So Talavan forest, so 12 different palms. So if you go to Saudi Arabia, I was there in Saudi Arabia not long ago. So you have dates. This is also a type of palm tree, but with lot of effort, we were able to confirm that the Talavan forest does not have dates, but it's like this. So this is the actual fruit that was there in the Talavan forest. So even though when you say palm trees, there are many different palm trees, and one is what you see, the dates that you get in the stores, that is also palm, but this is the fruit, big fruit that you see on the right hand side. That is the actual fruit that the cowherd boys wanted in the Talavan forest. Okay. So Krishna and Balaram laughed, and to please the cowherd boys, they go to Talavan forest with the cowherd boys. So now this is very beautiful verse, right? They laugh or they smile, you can say, right? So I know this is a little dark here, but Prabhu, would you be kind enough to read the Sanskrit verse? So Prabhu is almost 92 years old. For those of you who don't know about 92, Prabhu, 92? Yeah, and he never misses these classes, so he wants to come and attend these classes. And if we don't have the Sanskrit verse, he wants it. So that's why we make it a point to put some Sanskrit verses just for Prabhu. So here, this is a takeaway for all of us, right? So maybe I'm going to ask Prabhu, will you be able to read this? I know sorry, I put a dark background. Are you able to read the English version? Oh no, that's okay. Maybe
Yeah,
one of you.
the English one I can, yeah.
Yeah.
A yogi should similarly meditate on the most benevolent smile of the Lord, Sri Hari, a smile which for all those who bow to him drives away the ocean of the tears caused by the intense grief.
Okay, so let's just park it for a minute, right? So all of us will have miseries in different ways, right? So can anybody put your hand bravely stretched up if you don't have any miseries, any problems? Right? It's an obvious question, right? Like everybody will have various problems, Monday to Friday especially. Saturday and Sunday slightly less, but Monday to Friday it's more, right? So this is a takeaway, right? So this is a solution that is given in Kapila Muni's teaching, right? So it says if you are having a lot of problems, you're crying or nearly in tears, you're going through this unavoidable miseries and problems at work, at home, physical health, what do you have to do to dry away that tears? What do you have to do? Simply meditate on the smiling face of Lord Krishna. What would it be difficult for us? So anytime why don't we try this, right? Next week. Hopefully we'll get a chance Monday to Friday.
But I'm trying, I've got so many problems over here. Many problems. It's difficult for me to walk. You see? But then still I'm trying.
You're not trying, you're doing it, Prabhu. You're doing it.
I'm trying to come to temple, but leave my house and go to Vishnu.
So we're so grateful
I can't do it in a nice way, but still I'm trying.
you're doing it. Thank you so much, Prabhu. You're trying to follow your footsteps. So thank you for that enthusiasm that you're showing, towards Krishna and your Krishna consciousness. We're grateful to you. Thank you. So this is a lesson for all of us, right? When we have a problem, you can make a note of this verse. Make a note of this verse and take it with you at work and then keep it somewhere. So your manager is giving you trouble, co-workers giving you trouble. All you have to do is meditate on the smiling. You can even take a picture of this because it took some difficulty to get this wonderful smile of Lord Krishna here. So all you have to, what do you lose? Right? What do we lose? Beautiful smile of Lord Krishna, and that is mentioned in the scripture. If you have a problem, just meditate on the smiling face of Lord Krishna and your problems will go away. So drive away our ocean of tears because caused by intense grief if we just meditate on the most benevolent smile of Lord Hari. Okay? So please make a note of this 3:28:32. Okay? Sorry. So Lord Balaram enters this Tala forest first. So again, not Krishna, because Krishna has already killed 6 demons. He wants Lord Balaram to starting to do his job. Okay, you do this. So Lord Balaram is going first. He's entering the forest, and with his 2 arms, he began to forcibly shake the Tala trees with the power of a maddened elephant, causing the Tala fruits to fall down. So the big black fruit that you saw on the right hand side of the picture a couple of slides ago, so it started falling down. So again, our acharyas give us some explanation here. Forcibly shook the tree. So God sometimes shakes our lives, situations to remove excessive attachments, lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion, to awaken our dormant devotion, which provides access to spiritual sweetness. So sometimes we go through some hardships in our life. It's for our own betterment going forward. So don't think that it is a punishment. Oh, I'm a devotee, I'm chanting 16 rounds, but I have this. Because that door has to close and another door has to open here. So sometimes when we go through some challenges in our lives, God is actually shaking that excessive attachment or anger that we have, something to do with that particular individual or particular person, and it awakens our dormant devotion, which will provide access to spiritual sweetness. So Balaram is shaking the trees and all the fruits are falling. That's how he gets the attention of this demon. So Dhenuka runs with full force and kicks the chest of Lord Balaram with his hind legs. Can there be anything worse than that you can ever do? Right? So kicking the Lord instead of offering obeisances, instead of offering fruit. What does Bhagavad Gita 9.26 says? Patram pushpa param toyam, right? Offer, if one offers fruit, leaf, flower or water, like instead of giving that, they don't want to give. Dhenuka Sura disciplines and kicking the Lord Balaram, right? So hearing the sound of falling fruits, the ass demon Dhenuka ran forward to attack, making the earth and trees tremble. So don't think in terms of this little donkey that we may see in the picture or videos, little eating, putting his head down, eating grass with some cloth in his back. Like, these are demons, right? So here it says, you can see here, making the earth and trees tremble. The powerful demon rushed up to Lord Balaram and sharply struck the Lord's chest with the hooves of the hind leg. So these are the hooves of the hind leg. Dhenuka began to run about, braying loudly. Now, Dhenuka's presence blocked access to the sweet Tala fruits, which is you can say in this case spiritual wisdom or joy, just like ignorance blocks our access to divine bliss. Dhenuka Sura kept others away from the spiritual fruits, just as ignorance and ego prevents others and ourselves from tasting real joy. So again, 9.26 it says, if you offer fruit, flower, leaf or water, I will accept it. Here they don't want to give the fruit that they're not even eating. So these donkeys are not eating these fruits, but they don't want. That is what they call it, what? Dog in the manger policy. Have you heard that? Dog in the manger policy. I don't want that, but I don't want you to take it too. So Lord Balaram seized Dhenuka's hooves and whirled with one hand on top of the palm tree, thus killing Dhenuka. That's all it is, right? So Dhenuka Sura kicked. He takes the hind leg, whirls him around, and then releases him. So he lands on top of the palm tree and he's dead. So the hind legs of animals are symbolic of defensiveness, rebellion, or prideful resistance to discipline or correction. So that's what the hind legs are meant to be. So that's why he caught the hind leg, so that the rebellion is gone, the pride is gone, etc. So world. So why does he do this? Where the pride, identity, illusions are thrown into confusion, momentum, and the momentum for purification, complete purification. Why thrown to the, again, these are all from our acharyas, right? So it's not like I think of this and come. These are all from our acharyas, various acharyas, right? So why throw on top of the palm tree? But for forceful elevation of purification. And donkey is the lowest of animals, hence Dhenukasura is the lowest of demons. Aparika or somebody kicking, right? So kicking the Lord. So you can see here, Lord Balaram is holding the hind leg. You can see the face of the demon here, donkey demon, hind leg, caught by him, whirls him and throws him on top of it. So many palm trees shook and broke. It's a chain reaction as the tallest palm tree broke the neighboring palm trees due to the weight of Dhenukasura, and all fell with great crashing sound. So maybe we'll get somebody to read. Anybody? Yeah, go ahead.
Lord Gauranga threw the dead body of Dhenukasura into the tallest palm tree in the forest, and when the dead demon landed on the treetop, the tree began shaking. The great palm tree, causing a tree by its side also to shake, broke under the weight of the demon. The neighboring tree caused yet another tree to shake, and this one struck yet another tree, which also began shaking. In this way, many trees in the forest shook and broke. Because of Lord Balaram's pastime of throwing the body of the ass demon into the top of the tallest palm tree, all the trees began shaking and striking against one another as blown away by powerful winds.
Yeah, just like the chain reaction, right? Have you seen this? You know what? If you hit this gets hit.
Dominoes.
Everything, right? Domino. So that's what happened here. So dominoes or ripple effect where one tree knocked other trees, right? So again our acharyas are explaining, if you approved one of our things that we should not have, for example envy, you will find it also weakens the other aspect that we should not have, lust, anger, greed, envy, pride and illusion. So if you are able to consciously take out one, it will help in taking out others as well. So great spiritual progress comes when the whole system is addressed, not just isolated issues. One moment of surrender, one chant from the heart, one word of scripture taken seriously can cause a cascade of inner change. Divine grace spreads far and wide with a single sincere opening. Just like one tree was shaken by Lord Balaram and it had so much of impact, so here one moment of surrender, chant from the heart, can cause a cascade of inner change in each one of our lives. The trees looked tall and immovable, right? So they were all so strong when all the hurricane and tornadoes were there, but one impact made them all fall. This shows that the kingdom of ego, ignorance, material pride is unstable, held together by illusion. So it can all go away. So if we sincerely worship Lord Balaram, Lord Krishna, it will all be taken away. So Lord Balaram made the fruits fall first by shaking the trees, and then made the trees fall one after the other, like sins are uprooted one after the other. So much of learning just by the fruits falling by Lord Balaram shaking, and then when Dhenukasura was whirled and thrown on top of the tree, the weight of that tree made other trees fall down in this ripple effect or dominoes effect as well. So beautiful, beautiful pastime. So if you just meditate on that, Lord Balaram, how we can uproot our sins that are, it looks like immovable and it's going to be there forever, but it can be easily removed. So here the other ass demons ran to attack Lord Krishna and Balaram. Again, until this point in time, did Krishna do anything? Krishna didn't do anything in this pastime. He's just an innocent bystander there. But these friends of Dhenukasura, the other ass demons, close friends of Dhenukasura, were enraged upon seeing his death. Thus they all immediately ran to attack Krishna and Balaram. So here I put some pictures here. Some of the cowherd boys, little boys are all hiding. They are all scared of the demons running. You can see these are all Krishna's friends. They are all hiding and watching. So foolish donkey friends ran to attack Lord Krishna when he did not kill Dhenukasura. He didn't do anything. Krishna and Balaram seized the other ass demons and threw them on top of other palm trees, and because of this the earth shone like a sky decorated with clouds. So beautifully it's explained here. So maybe this, maybe Prabhu, will you be able to read this, the red text?
According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, the bodies of the demons were dark, like dark blue clouds, and the large quantity of blood that had flowed from their bodies appeared like bright red clouds. Thus the whole scene was very beautiful. The Supreme Personality of Godhead in its various forms, such as Rama and Krishna, is always transcendental, and when he enacts his transcendental pastimes, the result is always beautiful and transcendental, even when the Lord performs violent acts like killing the stubborn as demons.
Thank you. So it's a beautiful picture here, right? So it looks like the earth shone like the sky decorated with clouds. So all of them, you can see this is a painting. So all these donkeys were all on top of the palm trees, you can see here. So Lord Balaram is whirling that, and you can see the other as demons. You may have seen this picture many times, but now when you go deeper into the pastime, you'll appreciate the picture when you see it next time. See all these minor details in this. So you can see the donkeys already here, already thrown up, and then more donkeys are getting thrown. All his friends are getting tossed back from this one. So the Devatas and other elevated beings rained down flowers, offered music and prayers in glorification of Lord Krishna. Because the demons are dead, his friends are all dead, so they're all watching. They're the eyes in the sky, and then they are hearing of this magnificent feat of the two brothers, the Devatas or demigods, and other elevated living beings rained down flowers and offered music and prayers in glorification. This is one of my favorite verses, and maybe most of all of you, you have your own favorite verses, but this is one of the most fascinating verses that I came across many years ago, and I wanted to memorize this. Suryogni Kammarudevara Somaga Sadhyayani Tisara Kampu Swayam Dharmayati Ete Daiyasya Sakshinaha. So who would like to read the translation? You read that, yeah.
The sun, fire, sky, air, Devatas, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and Supersoul himself all witness the activities of the living entity.
So again, we may go to Walmart, we may buy some milk, 3 packets of milk we buy. The person there scans 2 milk, and we know that he didn't scan the 3rd one, but he gives it to us. Thank you very much, this is $5, $6. We know that she didn't scan all 3. She didn't see it. Maybe it will not beep when you're coming out of, for this they may not have that beeping when you're coming out of Walmart. But are we good? Did we escape? Who are all watching every thought, word, and deed of us? Right? Just meditate on this for 1 minute. The sun. Okay? So the sun is a witness. Even though we may be in the shade right now, can we deny the fact there is sun outside? So the sun is a witness to what we are doing. And let's say, okay, well, what about in the night? Sun is not there in the night. Who's the witness in the night? Moon is there. Okay, what about fire? Oh, there is no fire here, there is no yajna here, we are not lighting up the gas. But Krishna says, Aham Vaishvanara Bhutva, I am the fire of digestion in the stomach. We know that we are able to digest our food because of the fire in our heart, so in our body. So there is always fire. So can we escape from the witness of fire? Fire is always there. Air. We are breathing in oxygen, there is air, right? Whether we realize it or not. So that is a witness. So we cannot escape. There is witness to every thought, word, and action of ours. The Devatas, so many millions and millions of Devatas are there. Even to close our eyelids and open, there is a Devata, right? So there is Devata who are always watching us. Moon, evening, day, night. If he says sun, yeah, extra witness. Day is also a witness, right? Then we have night and the moon. Directions, north, south. How many directions are there? 8 or 10?
8.
8 plus 2.
Is the top and
Yeah, top and bottom too, right? North, south, east, west, in between, and then top and bottom, 10 directions, right? So we can't escape that. Then water. 70% of our body is water. Whether we know it or not, 70% of our body is water, 70% of our brain is water, 70% of earth is covered with water, right? So there is water everywhere, water vapor everywhere. So there is witness for everything that we do. Land, we're standing on land, right? So can we be without land? There is land everywhere, earth. And super soul within our heart as well. So there are 13 witnesses to every activity. It said, but our Acharya has explained not just actions or activity, but also thought, word, and deed as well. So devatas are everywhere, so they're watching everything and then they offer these flowers. But this is a beautiful verse, I want to connect with that 6:142, this is the Ajamal pastor we get to know. The Suryo Agnikam Maradeva, Soma Sadhyayadena, Disaha, Kampuhu Swayam Dharmaiti, E Ete Dayasya Sakshinaha. So, beautiful verse for all of us to meditate. More than meditate and more than memorizing it is internalizing it and living a life knowing that there are this 24/7 cameras that we cannot see but that is looking at us, right? So it's always recording 24/7. You cannot erase the recording, good and bad. So that's the good thing, the good thing and bad thing. So when we do something good, we don't need to advertise and say we are doing this, right? So it's already getting recorded all the time, good and bad deeds by 13 witnesses who are recording this every second, every millisecond of all our life's activities.
24 hours. 24 hours. 24 hours.
27/24, 365 days a year. Maybe there are duplication of recording too, right? From multiple angles as well.
When he comes, Bharat, Deva, Soma, and Dhyani, they say, Ram Hu, Ram Dharma, Iti, Ite, Deyasya, Sakshya. Sakshya means the witness.
Yeah, so we have to be careful what we do. So good things and bad things, everything is getting recorded here. So people started coming to the Talavat forest without fear to eat the palm fruits, and the cows freely grazed on the grass. Why? Because there's no more. What is the demon's name? Dhenuka, yeah. And all his friends are also killed by Balaram and by Balaram and Lord Krishna. Even though Krishna wanted to be an innocent bystander in this pastime because they came to attack him, they got killed. So now, after this pastime, part 4, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram are entering their home. So now the pastime is over, they are entering their homes in Vrindavan after the pastime. So it beautifully describes their entry back into their homes. So Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram and the cowherd boys then returned victoriously to Vrindavan. And Lord Krishna smiled again. So whenever Lord Krishna smiles, what can you think of? Our problem will go away when we meditate on Lord Krishna's smiling face. That's an important takeaway. Did anybody make a note of the verse?
Yes.
Yeah, please make a note of that verse. Anytime we have a problem, just meditate on that smiling face of Lord Krishna. That's all. So here Lord Krishna smiled and played his flute, entered Vrindavan and was welcomed by gopis. So this was the first day. So why did they come out? They come out every day to welcome Lord Krishna. But here, this was the first day that Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram went far away because they started herding cows and bulls. Before they were going only short distances because of the calves. Now because of the cows and bulls, they had to go far away. On that day, previously to herd the calves, and they did not go very far away, but came home early, but now they came little late. So the distress of the Brajvasis disappeared when they drank the honey of Lord Krishna's beautiful face. So if you just meditate on that, right? So their distress went away when they drank the honey of Krishna's beautiful face. So it's not drinking the honey, but they're drinking the honey of Krishna's beautiful face. So here with their bee-like eyes, the women of Vrindavan drank the honey of the beautiful face of Lord Mukunda, and thus they gave up their distress. Again, it's the second time it's repeating the same. When you have distress, if you look at the smiling face of Lord Krishna, your distress will go away. Are we going to try this next week? Hopefully we don't have to try because we will not have a problem. But if you have, what do we lose, right? The scriptures mandate that. So when I say what do we lose, we need to start doing that, right? So then our distress will go away. So the glances filled with bashfulness, laughter and submission, and Krishna completely accepting these glances as a proper offering of respect entered the cowherd village. So another beautiful smiling face of Lord Krishna. So Mother Yasoda and Mother Rohini offered all the best things Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram desired, right? So whatever they wanted when they came home, they were given. Lord Krishna and Balaram were bathed and massaged and then dressed in attractive robes and decorated with garlands and fragrances. Almost 24/7 until they sleep, they always are offered garlands. They just wore all the forest garlands, and when they went there and they came back, and at home after bath, beautiful garlands were given. So they were massaged and attractive robes were decorated and garlands and fragrances. This was Krishna's little earlier picture. So Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram then dined on delicious food and then went on to sleep in excellent beds. Okay. So here, after dining sumptuously on the delicious food given to them by their mothers and pampered in many ways, the two brothers lay down upon their excellent beds and happily went to sleep in the village of Raja. So for those of you who have deities at home, when you put the deities to sleep, different devotees have different ways to put them. So, you'll have the best of beds for Lord Krishna if you're putting them to sleep horizontally. Different devotees do it in different ways, right? So anything that we offer to Krishna has to be the best, and that's what was offered at their homes as well. Excellent beds. Okay? So this one is from Garga Samhita, the past life of Dhenuka. So maybe I'll get one of you to read this, maybe somebody from Mataji from this side. You can read this past life of Dhenuka. Yes.
Yeah. Sahasika was a powerful son of King Bali, who was the son of Virochana. One time he enjoyed pastimes with 10,000 women on the Gandhamadana mountain. The sage Durvasa, meditating on the Lord there, was disturbed by the sound of the ankle bells and musicians. As his meditation
on
Krishna was disturbed, he came out of his cave very angry. Durvasa was well known for his anger. Everyone in creation is afraid of the curse of
Durvasa.
Durvasa cursed Sahasika. Fool, ass-like person, rise, become an ass, O demon. After 400,000 years, in the transcendental circle of Mathura, in the sacred forest of Dalavana, you will attain liberation by Lord Balarama's hand.
Wonderful, thank you. So Prahlad Maharaj's son is Virochana, Virochana's son is Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj's son is Sahashika. And according to Garga Samhita, it is said that he was cursed by Durvasa Muni just to be liberated by Balaram many, many years later. Okay, so we'll just summarize the, go through the, summary of this pastime. So in chronological order. So this is a concise recap of the entire pastime to ensure there is clear registration of this pastime. Okay, so Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram get promoted to take care of full-grown cows, bulls, and oxen. And the first day that they went to the forest on their new job is on Gopashtami. That takes place during the month of Kartika. Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram, and the cowherd boys entered Vrindavan forest with their cows. The auspicious atmosphere within the Vrindavan forest gave pleasure to all the five senses. The trees in Vrindavan were bowing down at Lord Balaram's lotus feet and offering their fruits and flowers. The bees were great sages and elevated devotees where they were worshipping Lord Balaram and chanting his glories, which were themselves a holy place. The dancing peacocks, singing cuckoos, glancing deer, all in devotion towards Lord Balaram. And earth was so fortunate according to Lord Krishna because Lord Balaram touched his lotus feet and the rivers and mountains and birds were graced by his merciful glances. So Lord Krishna imitated the singing of the bees, chattering of the parrot, the call of the cuckoos, the cries of the swan, dancing of the peacock, and called out the names of the animals affectionately, and sometimes he would run away with the smaller animals in mock fear of lions and tigers, thus enchanting the cows and the cowherd boys. So beautiful when you think of when Krishna is running away like in fear, then all of them will run with him as well. So when Lord Balaram was tired, fatigued from playing, he would lie down with his head upon the lap of a cowherd boy. Lord Krishna would help him relax by personally massaging his feet and offering other services. Lord Krishna and Balaram glorified their friends' activities as well when they danced, sang, and playfully fought with each other. Lord Krishna rested upon the bed made of soft twigs and used cowherd boy's lap as his pillow and was fanned and massaged by them. The cowherd boy spoke to Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram about the sweet-smelling tala trees that were within the Talavan forest that was guarded by this fearful demon Dhenukasura and his friends, who prevented anybody from eating those fruits, and they were eating all the men alive. So everybody feared going there. And Krishna and Balaram laughed, smiled to please the cowherd boys to go to the Talavan forest with the cowherd boys. So Lord Balaram entered first and shook the tree forcibly, so all the fruits fell to the ground. So when Dhenukasura heard the fruits falling down, he ran with full force and kicked the chest of Lord Balaram with his hind legs. Lord Balaram seized the hind leg of Dhenukasura and whirled him with one hand and then dropped him on top of a tall palm tree, thus killing Dhenukasura. Because of the weight of Dhenukasura and the palm tree, it actually caused a dominoes reaction, chain reaction, and then many other trees also fell down, crashing to the ground. And other ash demons ran to attack Krishna and Balaram as their leader Dhenukasura was killed. Krishna and Balaram seized the other ash demons as well by their hind legs and threw them on top of the palm trees, and because of that the earth shone like a beautiful sky decorated with clouds. So the Devatas and other elevated beings started throwing or offering wonderful flowers. And what is the verse number that we covered? 6, 1, 9, 42. Suryo Agnikam Marudevara Somala Sandhyayini Kam Puhu Swayam Dharmaiti Ete Dayasya Sakshiraha. How many witnesses? 13 witnesses, right? So that's one of the takeaways for us. So people started coming to the Talavan forest without fear to eat the palm fruits, and the cows freely grazed on the grass in Talavan forest. Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram and the cowherd boys then returned victoriously to Vrindavan, and the distress of Vrajvasis disappeared when they drank the honey of Lord Krishna's beautiful face, because the beautiful face also the smiling face of Lord Krishna. Mother Yashoda and Mother Rohini offered all the best things Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram desired. Lord Krishna and Balaram were bathed and massaged and then dressed in attractive robes and decorated with garlands and fragrances, and then they dined on delicious food and slept on their excellent beds. So that's this nice, beautiful, small pastime, but there's so much of lessons to be learned. So now we want to learn from you. So lessons to be learned. So embracing lessons with a positive attitude transforms challenges into opportunities and fuels continuous growth and prepares us for future challenges in our life. So we know what had happened, but what are the lessons to be learned from this pastime that we can take away? Because that's the intent of these pastimes. So not necessarily what Krishna did, and what we can take from that in our day-to-day life to enhance our spirituality and also to have a better life, day-to-day life. So there are many lessons to be learned. There's no wrong answer here. So we'd like to hear from you. I have something listed here, few lessons to be learned, but we want to learn from you as to what you think are the lessons to be learned from this pastime. Anything that stands out for you. There's no wrong answer here. All answers are right answers. Anybody? Or everybody? Yes.
We just to depend on the Lord in times of need.
We always depend Lord in our times of need. Yes, so the cowherd boys wanted the fruits. In one way, when you think about it, yeah, even though that beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita was there, it's not that they want, but they want Lord Krishna to kill the demon. But in a way, it looked like they wanted these fruits. So when they wanted, Krishna gave it to them. And in the course of that, he destroyed the demons so that not only the cowherd boys can have the fruits, but also anyone else in Vrindavan can come there without fear and have the fruits as well. Wonderful point. Yes?
Everything you do is being watched, so don't do bad stuff, and even if you do good stuff, you don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't have to. Yeah, wonderful point. Even though it's not directly related, that verse is not in this 10.15, it is in the 6th canto, but because the Devatas out of nowhere, they were not watching that on Srimad Bhagavatam did not say they were all watching to see who wins this, right? Dhenukasura or Bal, they were not, it didn't state that, but they are also eyes in the sky, like 13 witnesses. And they're not one, right? So 330 million devatas, it is said, right? So it's not just 13 witnesses, because devatas itself is a group of 330 million, it is said, right? So one devata is to open and close our eyes, to smell, to taste, etc., right? So there are so many witnesses that we have. Yeah, wonderful point. So everything that we do, think, and speak is being recorded. It cannot be erased. We cannot write them and say erase it. Hopefully there is no recording, right? So you heard of Chitragupta. Have you heard of Chitragupta? Yeah, he's one of those spiritual, you can say, accountant, right? Spiritual accountant who takes down all the good and bad deeds that we do. Yeah, excellent point.
I have a question related to that.
Sure.
When one is like constantly aware and conscious, you're able to have positive thoughts because your awareness is on all the time. But also as a human, your mind continues to chatter away in the moments that you're not aware. Maybe you're driving, maybe you're cooking something, like it's just routine, and it just kind of goes on. In those instances, but it's not necessarily you, it's just kind of like random chatter that goes on, or just the mind's activity. Would that be considered as something like, is the importance given to the intention, or is it that something is just being recorded 24/7?
So it's a great question. So in Srimad Bhagavatam elsewhere, it is said the actions are much more serious than the thought. So the actual action itself is much more serious than our thought in Kali Yuga, it is said. But in other yugas, your thought, word and deed. But in Kali Yuga, the actions are more, taken into consideration than what we think. And as you said, Chanchalani Manakrishna, right? Even Arjuna, the greatest of archers, greatest friend of Lord Krishna, he said, I can even control the hurricane and whatever, tornado, but I cannot control the mind. So if he's saying we cannot control the mind, how can we control? And Krishna did say, what are you talking about? You can't control your mind. No, he doesn't. He said, okay, yeah, that's right, but you can control your mind with this. He gives two other actions as to how we can control the mind, right? So it's a natural thing for all of us that our mind goes everywhere. But what Krishna says, yeah, if your mind goes somewhere, bring it back. Bring it back. He says, no, it cannot happen. He doesn't say that, yeah, it will go, but bring it back. So the faster we are able to catch our mind flying away, right? So we are physically seated here, but our mind may be in Guyana, where our friends are or relatives are there, India, right? Mind can travel faster than aeroplane and F-35, right? So the next moment when you close your eyes, if you want to be in India or Kailash, you're there, right? So the mind always wanders, but the faster we catch, even when we're chanting, when the mind goes away, almost like chanting is like a background music, Hare Krishna. It's like a background music, but our mind is millions of miles away. But the faster we catch our mind and bring it back to where it is, that itself is a victory. Before we were catching the mind after 20 minutes of that going everywhere, but now if it is 18 minutes, 15 minutes, we bring it back, that by itself is a victory. So it's not, it is going to go naturally, but the faster we are understanding that it goes elsewhere and bring it back, then we are spiritually progressing. Great point.
And we should be having mentality of demon.
Of
demon, sir. Selfishness, yes?
Selfishness, yeah. Nothing belongs to us, right?
It is for me, for my family, for the...
Yeah, was the fruit manufactured, I don't want to use the word manufactured, was the fruit, tala fruit was belonging to Dhenuka Sura? No. He went inside and occupied the forest. Where the forest was there, the fruits were there. And it is said that the donkeys did not eat the fruits, but the donkeys did not want anyone to eat the fruit. Right? So nothing belongs to us. Who are we to say, no, he should not have that, why should he have a car, why should he have a house, I'm just translating into practical day-to-day issues. Right? They always think why he should have, he should not have. No, nothing belongs to us. Everything is happening by the will of the Lord based on somebody's karma. If somebody deserves to have a son or daughter in Harvard University, or they are supposed to have whatever it is, even materially, that's their karma and they deserve it. Who are we to feel jealous? That's the arrangement God wants that person to have. Why are we getting involved and thinking that that person does not deserve it? Who are we to say that, right? So again, why would they, nothing belongs to Dhenukasura, but they were holding it as though they own it, right? Nothing belongs to us. Even when we put $100, $200 here, does that actually belong to us? Or when we give fruit to the temple, right? Fruit is actually, because of Krishna, it's intelligent, we have the fruit. Yeah, we may buy it for $2, $3, right? We are just intermediate. In the end, we are, touching that with that money, but it's actually not, because can we make a fruit? No. What about water? Can we make it? It's all from natural sources, right? Glaciers are melting, or from rivers, we get the water, right? So even bottled water is just from natural sources. They just put it in the bottle. It's not like somebody is manufacturing it. So nothing belongs to us. So why would we hold back on somebody having that? Great point.
We can connect this to ego.
Yeah.
This is like ego, right?
Absolutely.
It's mine,
This
it's
is
me and
I,
myself.
me, myself. I'm the best. I own this.
And
Right,
this Dhenuka Sura had ego. And then I think Balaram comes, he kills him, and he actually relieves him of his.
Yeah, Prabhupada says that Balaram is the supreme spiritual master for all of us, right? So in a way, our ego will be destroyed, like how we shook the tree. So our ego will be shaken by Lord Balaram. So he's sincere. So that's the connection we need to make between the pastime and what can we get out of the pastime to change ourselves, not for somebody to change. You cannot say, Prabhu, this pastime, Dhenuka Sura, okay, so you have to give more. That's not for others, it's for individuals, right? How we can reflect, internalize that, and make our lives better than what it was yesterday.
So the main point is that in this time, my case, at this stage of life, there are so many difficulties, and it's very difficult to control them. And I have to repeatedly request Krishna, repeatedly pray. You see? And even then I am not able to do it completely. The improvement is there. So you can tell me how to do it completely.
You're doing a fantastic job, Prabhu. So we always want to learn from your dedication, and you're totally surrendered to Krishna, and you're following the footsteps of what our acharyas have taught us. Right? So you're on the right path. We want to learn from you.
Difficulties are there,
Yeah, with all the difficulties you're making. Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone else has what you can share? Yes.
I was just going to share in terms of the lessons, and I think it sort of connects well with his comment about the difficulties. So, trying to remember the face of the smiling Lord in the kinds of mysteries
beautiful. That's another key takeaway, right? Remember the smiling Lord when we have miseries, right? Any problem that we have, just look at Lord Krishna's smiling face. So he's saying, why are you worried about all this? This is nothing, I'll take care of. What was impossible for the residents of Vrindavan was not at all difficult for Krishna. We don't even want to use that word difficult for Krishna. When these pillars of rain was falling down because of this, Govardhan pastime, it was almost impossible for anybody to do anything. And then Krishna was lifting it with this pinky, which is again, I don't want to say weakest finger of the right hander. Right? So if you're a right hander, weak hand is left hand. And within the left hand, the weakest finger is pinky. So Krishna shows there's nothing weak for him, right? So he's lifting the mountain for 7 days and 7 nights with our weakest finger. Right? So anything else? Prabhu? Maybe they already mentioned that, right? So again, ego, nothing belongs to us, and many more. So I just put something here from my standpoint. Anything else? So lead by caring, right? So again, sometimes in our day-to-day life, we'll always be, oh my God, I'm not getting the promotion. I deserve more. Have you thought about that in our personal life when we are at work, right? So just as Krishna and Balaram were promoted to tend the herd, genuine leadership begins with truly looking out for your team's needs, right? So they really took good care of the calves. So automatically they got more responsibilities to take care of cows. So again, in our day-to-day, nothing to do with this pastime, but then as they got promoted, we do our job, then we'll get our rewards, right? So we have to take care of our material needs as well. All of us work. We're all grahasthas. We're not sannyasis or brahmacharis. So again, we do our job, then properly we take care by caring for the people who work for us or with other colleagues, then the promotions will automatically come. Honor your allies. Right? So your Krishna never missed a chance to praise Balaram, acknowledging a colleague's strengths lifts everyone's spirit. Again, I'm just going from one end to the other end, right? So Krishna was glorifying Balaram. So even in your day-to-day work, you have your colleagues, when they do something good, you praise them and see how much it will come back to us. So these pastimes are indirectly teaching us what to do in our day-to-day life as well. Right? So it's not detached totally, right? So we need to connect and take the best from these pastimes. Kindness wins heart. Trees bow down with fruits and blossoms for Balaram. When you lead with warmth and integrity, people and projects naturally comes to you, right? Similar to the point number one, right? Small gestures matter. Bees humming, peacock dancing, deer glancing, tiny acts of devotion made all the difference. Never underestimate the power of small, heartfelt support of anyone as well. Okay, so it's important. Even in Ramayana, we know how the squirrels were doing the part, Hanuman was doing his part, and Lord Ram, he considered all of them to be equal, right? So the squirrels did what they can do to their ability, maximum of what they can do. Hanuman did what he can do, but we need to do what we should do. Face challenges with play. Okay, so pretense of fleeing lions turned fear into fun. So tackling tough tasks with playful mindset transforms stress into success. So even in our day-to-day life, when we have challenges, sometimes we need to take it little easy, right? So little fun, and then that turns the fear away. Shake for sweetness. Only when the palm trees were shaken did the ripe fruits fall. So embrace life's upheavals, they ripen you. Let the Lord shake your ego or comfort zone so that inner virtues can blossom as well. So we can look at it from many angles here. Again, these are from my standpoint. That's why I want to hear from you. So you will have more as well. So the main learning from Srimad Bhagavatam is how can I or individual, how can you take away certain things from these pastimes and make use of it or implement it in your life so that your life becomes better from next day onwards, right? So drop unneeded burdens. The ass demons guarded fruits they never ate. Like them, we carry guilt, envy, grudges that weigh us down. Surrender those burdens and watch the Lord lift them effortlessly. Non-attachment, non-envy, and principle of universal sharing. Nothing belongs to us, that I mentioned, right? So who are we to prevent others from enjoying what has been created by the Lord for all? Okay? So it's none of our business to say somebody should not have this, how they are bad people. We don't know, right? The law of karma is very complicated, right? So it's like a silo, right? So what went in first will come out first. If the bad things were there, they'll get later. That's none of our business. So cleanse the crowd. So Krishna uprooted not just Dhenuka or Lord Balaram, but his entire gang. True transformation clears all negative patterns, not just the obvious ones. So invite Krishna to remove every obstacle to your joy and devotion. Remember the smiling face. Surrender brings freedom. As Balaram easily cast aside the stubborn as demon, surrendering to the Lord uproots our inner impurities and restores lasting peace and clarity. Okay. So are we able to connect all this to the past time? Okay, so the last part of today we are finishing it perfectly on time, which is very unusual. So we have about 20 minutes, so we'll go through the quiz. So you have a hard copy with all of you. So you have the summary of the past time, so please take a copy and try to go through this wherever you can. The sequence of past time that we flashed here, you will have, the lessons learned you will have, and if you would like to add more things, please add it for your own purification and reference later on. So if you turn to quiz, I think it's page 5 is starting, or actually page 6. Okay? So you can use your pen and mark the right answers. We'll go through that together. Okay, question number 1. When Lord Rama and Lord Krishna attained the age of dash, the cowherd men allowed them to take up the task of tending cows. Anybody remembers? I don't think so. I stopped doing it. Ganda, very good. And that is age between 5 to 10. Because he spent from 3 years and 4 months up to 11 years in Vrindavan area, which means Gokul, etc. So this happened when he was in Vrindavan. So Ganda is the correct answer. C for Chaitanya, 5 years to 10 years. Okay. Okay, number 2. Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram got promoted to take care of full-grown cows, bulls, and oxen, and this day is called as
Gopashtami.
Gopashtami. So Bahulashtami, anybody remembers what is Bahulashtami? A demon,
Bahula.
Bacchus.
maybe his second name is Bahula, but is Arishtasura. Arishtasura was killed. Again, it's 10.36. That is Bahulashtami. Janmashtami, we know, it's Krishna's appearance day. Gokulashtami, what is Gokulashtami?
Birthday.
Which is also Janmashtami is another name in South India. So Gokulashtami. So don't get confused with Gokulashtami and Gopashtami. Gopashtami is when he started tending the cows. Bahulashtami is when the day when it's the appearance of Radha Kund and Shyam Kund, because that's when Arishtasura was killed. Janmashtami, appearance day of Lord Krishna. Gokulashtami, appearance day of Lord Krishna. Janmashtami is called as Gokulashtami in South India. Number 3. The forest that was guarded by Dhenuka demon was filled with rows of dash trees.
Palm tree.
Palm trees, very good. B for Balaram, palm trees. Number 4. Dash was bending down to the Lord's lotus feet.
The trees.
Peacock, deer, trees, cows.
Trees.
Tree. Very good. 4 is C for Chaitanya. Number 5. When Dash was tired from playing, Dash would massage his feet.
Lord Balarama. A.
When Lord Balaram was tired from
Lord
playing,
Krishna would.
Lord Krishna would massage his feet. Very good. 6. Sometimes Lord Krishna grew tired from fighting and lay down at the base of the tree, resting upon a bed made of soft twigs and buds and using the lap of a cowherd friend as his pillow. True or false?
True.
True. Very good. Number 7. The cowherd boys requested the lordship to kill Dash in the Dash forest.
Dhenuka, Sura and Talavana forest.
C for Chaitanya.
C.
Everybody's confident? I see a little less volume.
C.
C. Yes. So the answer is C for Chaitanya. So the cowherd boys requested the lordship to kill Dhenukasura in the forest of Talavana. Number 8. Demon Dhenuka's friends had assumed the form of
D.
Asses. D.
D. Asses. So again, the questions and answers are put in such a way after 6 months when you read it, you will get the entire pastime very easily. Okay. Number 9. Dash entered the Tala forest first and forcibly shook the palm trees and made the fruits fall to the ground.
Lord
D.
Balarama. D.
B for Balaram, and the answer is Balaram. Number 10. Hearing the sound of the falling fruits, the ass demon Dhenuka ran forward. A. To offer obeisances to Lord Balaram. B. To welcome Lord Balaram. C. To kick Lord Balaram with his hind legs.
C. To kick
C.
Lord Balarama.
It should have been A or B, but then he did C. Number 11. Dhenuka demon was killed by
Lord Brahma.
Balaram or Lord Krishna?
Lord Balaram.
That's the most important thing, right? So first time Lord Balaram killed a demon in all his pastimes, and that was Dhenukasura. So Lord Balaram. The answer is D for, what do we say, C Chaitanya, B Balaram, D for, what is Lord? Dwaraka, maybe. Damodar, yeah? Damodar, Dwaraka, yeah? 12. Other ass demons ran away from after seeing their leader Dhenukasura was killed. False, because they came charging at both Krishna and Balaram, even though Krishna was innocent bystander in this pastime. Number 30, the ass demons were killed by the lordships A. Sudarshan Chakra, Nandaka, and I put this because these are all the actual weapons of the Lord. It's not like somebody's, right? So Sudarshan Chakra is Lord Krishna's chakra. Nandaka is Lord Krishna's sword. Sharanga is Lord Krishna's bow. Kaumodaki is Lord Krishna's club. And E is hands. And the answer is? E. Hands. Because he did not use any weapons in Gokul, Vrindavan, etc. Number 14. The distress of the Brajvasis disappeared when they drank the honey of Lord Krishna's beautiful face. True. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. So again, we'd like to thank you very much for your time, and you almost gave 2 hours of your valuable time, and we nicely went deep into this pastime. This was the 50th month for those of you who joined us a little late. This is the 50th month of Srimad Bhagavatam Katha, so it's almost 5 years, but we actually started in 2015. We try to do this once a month, if not definitely once every 2 months. We collect the purports from various acharyas in our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and it's a condensed form of in these 2 hours. We go through the sequential pastime, summary, and then a quiz as well. So you take this so that you can refer to this pastime on a later date as well. So again, we thank you again for your participation and your time, and we hope to see you in a month's time again here in Scarborough. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Do you have some prasadam now?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Any comments? Any?
Yeah, another 10 minutes. Can provide
Prabhu, what did you announce? Yeah, just faster and then more faster.
Hare Krishna. So as Prabhu has wonderfully explained about Srimad Bhagavatam, it's like a workshop, very interactive workshop. And around the world we have the Bhadra campaign, which is centered on the distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And last year we did a Canadian record of 1,141 Srimad Bhagavatam sets. So all across Canada we had at least 15 centers participating, including Scarborough. And that's centered around people taking Srimad Bhagavatam or gifting Srimad Bhagavatam. And oftentimes, when you don't have stock, you wonder where to get Bhagavatam, but we have beautiful stock and inventory of supporting the efforts of ISKCON Scarborough and the movement. And by taking Srimad Bhagavatam at home, as Prabhu mentioned, all those different pastimes, you can open and read them. So we highly encourage you to take a set of Srimad Bhagavatam home. It's very auspicious to have that and follow along during your spare time and plug in. And the Bhadra Purnima is in September, and it states that in Canto 12 that whoever takes a Srimad Bhagavatam, places it in their home on a throne, their assurance to go back home, back to God, it is guaranteed. So we encourage you to please take Srimad Bhagavatam, and we have plenty of sense. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. We are grateful to ISKCON Scarborough, for doing this. Dhenuka Prabhu is there. We are grateful to ISKCON Scarborough for allocating this time and all the efforts and everything else that is available here to have a class like this, right? So that's why we don't have classes that we have in Scarborough everywhere else, right? So let's make use of the opportunity. Friday we have the Bhagavad Gita class here, which is going on. Prabhu does this very well, week after week for so many weeks. It's been going on for years.
Almost
1 year.
1 year. 1 year and 3 months, right? So we have, let's put our hands together. So a lot of effort goes into putting, together a class. It could be 1 hour class, but it takes, you can say anywhere from 20 to 30 hours to put together the quintessence of that 1 hour class. So hopefully all of Prabhus will agree. To put together something like 2 hours, it's not like I have something where I don't copy and paste it, right? It's all, you have to read and understand. So it takes about 80 to 100 hours to put together something like this. So let's make use of it, right? It's not available anywhere else. So all we want is it's free, and Scarborough does it, very well here. So it's like a classroom setting. We have books and papers and pens and everything else. So all we want is your kind attention and your participation every week for the Bhagavad Gita class. If you are able to come every Sunday to the Sunday feast here, and then once a month we have this. Try to do once a month or once every 1.5 months. As you know, it takes a lot of effort to put something together, because giving a class is little easier than putting something together like this. But we can make use of all our senses when we have an audio-visual presentation. Usually we'll have some videos as well to accompany this, which will enhance our learning experience. But we not just use our eyes that we use during regular classes. We are using our sense of touch. You're taking some notes, right? You're also hearing. You're also using more of your senses. So the depth of understanding is more during sessions. So we'll try to do that.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So you had mentioned that when you showing the pictures of the dates that you visited Saudi Arabia recently, right?
Yes.
And also I know you traveled to Mexico. And so how do you maintain your Krishna consciousness when you go to like countries where it may be like unfavorable? Like what do you do, or is there any tips? Or?
Yeah. So I'm not a shining beacon of light there. But the biggest advantage that I see is, because we do a lot of fire sacrifices, and the undisturbed time in the flight is the best to memorize Vedic verses. So I make use of this, best use of the bad bargain, you can say. You can quiet time, you can have this beautiful headphones, and you have the Vedic mantras now. So many suttas from Upanishad as well as from Vedas. You can always memorize it in that 12 hours non-stop, 6 hours non-stop flight. So you do that, and the biggest advantage is when you go, many of you may be traveling as well. So very quickly I try to connect with our ISKCON centers. So last week I was in Minneapolis, and first time I visited the center there. Nice, some of you may have been there. Nice, beautiful center. They have Sunday evening programs there, so I'll be visiting them more often. So somehow, if you connect with them, and if there is a need for some service there, of course, the classes will be there. So even though it might not be closest to where our work will take us, but somehow at least if we can go there a couple of times a week. Some centers are open more than Sundays. Like Portland is open many times during the week, and Monterey site is open as well. So I spend a lot of time in Monterey. So Monterey, somehow I got connected, and then we do some fire sacrifices together, and then there are devotees who translate from English to Spanish. So somehow we can sort of force fit into the structure in other centers, so that just idle mind is devil's workshop. So if you're somehow connected to that, that's how I'm able to survive to a large extent.
What about Saudi?
Saudi was a short trip that we made, and the whole reason we went to, which actually me and my wife, we went to, it's not recording, right?